Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Chautauqua Sunrise is made possible by a grant from Fredonia Place, a continuing care retirement community providing dignity in a modern luxury environment. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. Funding for Chautauqua Sunrise is provided in part by the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency, with offices in Jamestown, Dunkirk, and Westfield, helping businesses to prosper throughout Chautauqua County.
The Chautauqua Center.
Are you looking for affordable medical, dental, or counseling services? The Chautauqua Center is always accepting new patients at their Jamestown and Dunkirk locations. They offer discounted prescriptions and accept all insurances. From the Access Chautauqua Studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Chautauqua. We are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week from 9 to 10 a.m. Send events via email or call us live. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. And now, from the Access Chautauqua Studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Doc Hamels, and welcome to Chautauqua Sunrise, show 316, Justin. You're getting old. We all are. Good morning, everybody. I'm glad you could join us this morning. It looks like it's going to be shaping up to a pretty nice day. It's been some pretty decent weather, a little muggy, but hey, it is summertime. Good sleeping weather, though. I don't know how it has been for you. Well, we had a couple warm nights. I should take that back. I think it was last week, but for the most part, where I live anyways, up on the hill, good sleeping weather. Windows are all open, and the dog is all stretched out, and nice weather. Okay, I want to say good afternoon also to all of our listeners on WRFA 107.9, low power to the people in Jamestown. Thanks for joining us at 1 o'clock on Tuesdays. Hope you enjoy the show. This is going to be a fun show. We're going to be talking about some artistic stuff and a little different than sometimes what we talk about here. Anyways, do stick around. And always, if you cannot watch the whole show, you can always go to YouTube, where we are enshrined forever and ever, and just put Chautauqua Sunrise and the date. A lot of times it comes up that way. You can just do a search on that, but we're on YouTube. And you always go to our Facebook page and check things out there as well. Love to hear from you. Okay, remember we stream live around the world, so boy, let's see. It's got to be good afternoon, London, England. Good evening over in Thailand and Burma. I'm trying to do my time zones here. Let's see. Good morning over Livonia, Michigan. Sue over there left a note last week, so good morning, everyone. All right. As we go through the show, as always, you can give us a call at 716-753-5225. Why would you want to call us? Well, you may have a question for my guest. You may want to share an event that your club maybe is working out online now, or there's a meeting that's going to be a Zoom meeting that's of importance to your community or something along these lines. It can be just a birthday wish, anniversary, whatever you like. So again, 716-753-5225. You can Twitter us, you can email us, you can go to Facebook, you can leave messages wherever. We're on social media everywhere you go. So please don't hesitate to stay in touch with us. All right. So just like comments that I wanted to mention, one of our underwriters that you saw in the beginning of the show, Meters Restaurant, is happy to announce they're open. They're up to 50% capacity finally. They had to do some renovations and so forth. And the crew and I are going there for lunch today for our summer picnic at Meters. And Randy, I think he's going to get the meatloaf, he tells me. That's one of his favorites. So anyways, they're open and glad to share that. They just opened a couple days ago. Let's see. Infinity, our friends at Infinity that does all the performing arts and the music and dance and photography and drama and all that good stuff. They're having a special fundraiser right now. The local music showcase that many of us as musicians have participated in over the years. I think I did 7 or 8 of them. They can't do it this year. So they're doing an online fundraiser. So if you are so inclined that you normally would have participated in that fundraiser, please check it out. I think their target is $5,000, and I know they're going to surpass that because Infinity is loved by so many people in the area, and all donations would be gladly accepted, I'm sure. Okay. The crew and I and the crew, I'm not sure, it depends on how you look at it, we've been working together on a new series. And I've been mentioning it a couple of times, but it's going to be going out on TV soon. It's called Chautauqua Strong and Healthy. All right. The Office for the Aging had contacted me about doing some programming for those of you that maybe aren't able to get out of the house too much or go to your normal exercise class, or maybe you're getting kind of bogged down on what do I eat this time of year, or you're not getting to the supermarket or whatever. And there's 3 different categories. And we have the Healthy Bones program with Nancy Dunbar. And she and her friends came into the studio, and that's going to be shown here soon. And she's doing some exercises that you can do sitting or standing, whatever. And you can do it right in the privacy of your homes or wherever you hang out. Then we have Eating Healthy with Carrie Skelton. In fact, she's going to come in the studio later this morning, I should say. And we're going to be doing 2 more programs that she's going to be doing. And I've learned some cooking tips from her already. So look for those soon. I think she'll be one of the first ones out of the box on the air. And then last week, we taped a couple ladies doing Tai Chi. If you haven't done Tai Chi, it's really a lot of fun. It's really healthy and very therapeutic. And so you're going to be able to follow along with some Tai Chi activities right in your home. So look for it, Chautauqua Strong and Healthy series. Chris Burt has produced it. I'm the curator. That's my new title there. I've never been curator of a show before. But anyways, glad to do this, and we're really excited about having that come to you. Also, if you're in the area for the first time or just visiting regularly, go out into the Westfield, Barcelona, Ripley, Portland, Brockton area, I believe, even some into Mayville, I believe. You'll see lighthouses here and there. And these were all decorated and designed by local shop owners and clubs and organizations. Chautauqua Sunrise has one there. And we're in McClure Park, right downtown Westfield. And then my Rotary Club has one. But there's different shop owners have them in their windows. It's just fun. It's sort of like a little treasure hunt or a little scavenger hunt. You can go and see all these different lighthouses. And they were up to somewhere over 100 of them. And there are maps for sale, but I can't tell you exactly where they are that you can get them. But some of the different shops in Westfield, if you stop in, they can tell you where to get the maps that you can find all these lighthouses. Good stuff. Unfortunately, the ride for Roswell was canceled as it normally is, where 10,000 people get together, including all the volunteers, and like 7,000 riders this past July. And so the Chautauqua Sunrisers, our little group here, has taken upon themselves that we are going to do our own local ride. It's not a race or anything like that, but it's going to be a 33-mile ride. It's going to start at our one underwriter there, Meters Restaurant, and we're planning on 7:30 August 9th. It's unofficial ride, so it's on you if you want to join us. But we're going to start at Meters. We're going to go down to the Pennsylvania border, come back through Ripley on the way back, head into Westfield, out Prospect Road, up to Webster, down there until you get to Munson, make a left, back to Route 20, and all the way back to Meters, where we're going to probably drink milkshakes. I don't know. After 33 miles, you'll consume anything. Anyways, it's a leisurely ride. It's not a race. It's not fast. If the weather is inclement, we plan on doing it the following Sunday, August 16th. So anyways, if anybody's interested, you can contact me through the studio or go to my Facebook page and let me know if you're interested. Anyways, for those of you that are participating in Ride for Roswell for the more or less sanctioned rides, they're doing the rides different locations up towards Buffalo. I don't know if anybody else is doing one down here in Chautauqua County, but we just figured with this COVID and everything else, we're just going to kind of do our own little thing and be socially appropriate. Hollyloft is talking the possibility of having one as well. So stay tuned on that. But anyways, oh gosh, so many organizations, like we mentioned, Infinity, the Ride for Roswell, and so many other organizations, they have their big outings, the golf tournaments have been canceled, all that sort of thing. And so support them where you can, all righty? Okay, I have a few announcements that I'll get to, and then we're gonna take a breather here, and then we'll get to our guest. All right, okay, as far as Infinity goes, if you're interested in more information from them, you can give them a call, 664-0991, or you can go to their website, all one word now, infinityperformingarts.org. Okay, this is from the Chamber of Commerce, and this is kind of an interesting one. It says, plenty to see and do in Chautauqua County. Do I not say that every week? Every week. Chautauqua County is unbelievable. We have so much good stuff going on here and so many little nuggets that people can explore. And this one kind of gives a few ideas. So let's have a read. With more and more states being added to New York State's quarantine list, we have a strong recommendation for local vacationers this summer. Try a staycation. There's plenty to see and do right here in Chautauqua County, and there may be some local things you've never experienced. You know, it's just like anything else. You know, you have something just down the road, you hardly ever go to it, and all the people from out of state come to visit it, and you don't even go there yourself. So let's see, Chautauqua County's wineries, breweries, distilleries are open for tastings. You can sample and purchase some terrific locally made beverages. Social Social distancing is still required, but some have outdoor venues and others have created outdoor spaces in order to make visitors more comfortable. And that's true, I've seen it all over the place. Beaches and boat rentals are available. Soak up the sun and relax on the water on any of our fabulous lakes. There are beaches available on Lake Erie, Chautauqua Lake, Finley Lake, and Casadega Lakes. We forgot about those guys. Marinas are readily available where you can rent a boat for the day and give your family a nautical adventure. 3-hour tour. Fishing and golf opportunities abound with numerous waterways and golf courses. There are trails for hiking, biking, and horseback riding. Panama Rocks Scenic Park is spectacular. Outdoor adventure as well. I love it there. As if all those recreational activities aren't enough, most of our great local museums and attractions are open again too. Spend some time touring the National Comedy Center, the Lucy Desi Museum, any one of the fascinating local museums of or the Robert Jackson Center, and see great art at the Roger Torrey Peterson Institute, the Portage Gallery in Mayville, or one of the small local galleries located throughout our county. We urge you to call first or check their websites to learn about appointments and protocols. Protocols being sometimes they can only allow so many people into their gallery at one time, or you gotta sanitize ahead of time, I don't know. Our region offers an enormous amount of summer tourism activities. Take some time to enjoy what you have right here in your backyard. Remember, too, that we have some terrific local cuisine and plenty of outdoor dining options. Takeout and socially distant indoor dining is also available. And I mentioned meters a bit ago. They're doing the same thing, indoor, outdoor, or socially appropriate spacing. You can learn about recreational and cultural experiences available in Chautauqua County from the Chautauqua County Visitors Bureau. Find them online at tourchautauqua, all one word.com, and treat your family to a great staycation this year right here in Chautauqua County. Gosh, thanks for that, Chamber. I couldn't have said that any better myself. Silver Creek, next week. Mark your calendar, August 1, the Hanover Community Chamber of Commerce will hold the 28th annual Silver Creek Yard Sale on Saturday, August 1. You can shop all day at dozens of garage and yard sales throughout the village of Silver Creek and the surrounding area. Sale maps will be available to purchase for $1 each and at the Village Park in Silver Creek starting at 8:30 on the sale day. Sales are held rain or shine from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Those who want to participate by holding a sale can register for only $10 and be covered under the blanket permit for the sale. Proceeds go to the Hanover Community Chamber to help support year-round programming, including scholarships for local graduating high school seniors. And you can learn a whole lot more about this at chautauquachamber.org. Good thing Emerald's not here, Justin. She loves yard sales. Sometimes I take her home and she'll say, "Oh, look at that, I got to hop on my bike and go check that one out." So, Emerald, if you're watching, get a ride to Silver Creek next week. Emerald's one of our camera folks here. Okay, Prevention Works Annual Cheveta Chicken Barbecue. All right, let's see here. It's going to be held Wednesday, August 5, that's next week, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Location is Chautauqua Mall over on Fairmount Avenue. Dinners are only $12 that include a half a barbecue chicken, macaroni salad, potato salad, and roll. Randy, if you're listening, there's dinner for you. Drive-through takeout only, cash only, or let me do that again. Drive-through, takeout only, cash only at event, or purchase your tickets online. Please present proof of the purchase at event. Originally, the South County Barbecue had been scheduled for June 23rd. Now it's on August 5. If you had previously purchased tickets for the event, you will absolutely be able to use them at this newly scheduled date. They apologize for any inconvenience this has been. However, the safety and staff have to be number one, as well as you folks as their priority due to this COVID. They want to thank all their sponsors: Bestway Container Services, Big Rick's One Stop, Greenman Peterson Incorporated, Hello Gorgeous Hair Salon, Hello Gorgeous, Lash Out Beauty Bar and Spa, I read too fast sometimes, Midtown Realty Company, Dunkirk Falcon Club, the Kosciuszko Club, I think I said that right, Prevention Works Board of Directors. Thank you for supporting Prevention Works. Our mission is to build a safe and healthy environment by effectively educating the community on positive life choices. Our vision is a united community that encourages and supports healthy behaviors through prevention efforts. And as you know, they offer many, many online courses for families to take through Zoom and so forth. So they're really trying to reach out to all of us to provide good opportunities. And if you want to know more information about Prevention Works, give them a call at 664-3608. All right, we do have one golf tournament that's still hanging in there. You can register now for early bird pricing. The Chamber Golf Tournament is August 27th. While numerous events have been canceled this summer, they're proud to be able to bring you the 2020 Chamber of Commerce Annual Golf Tournament. August 27th, this great event will once again be held at the beautiful Peak and Peak Resort in Clymer, New York, with an 11 a.m. shotgun start. I had to learn what that meant. I didn't know what that meant. Now I know what it means. A few things will be managed differently this year as they adhere to new social distancing regulations. We are asking that all golfers register and pay online in order to avoid gathering at a sign-in table before the tournament. Please check our webpage at, chamberrsvp.org to learn more or to register. Space is limited and early bird pricing will be honored through August 7th. The deadline for all registration is August 20. The 2020 Chamber Golf Tournament is sponsored by A Automotive, A.W. Farrell and Son, Bush Industries, Community Bank, Dahlstrom Roll Form, DFT Communications, Insurance Management Company, Jamestown Mattress Company, Kester Associates, Lakeshore Savings Bank, Lolly Insurance, National Grid, The Observer, The Post Journal, and Schultz Auto Group. So August 27th, big chamber tournament, one of the very few that are still being held in Chautauqua County. We're going to take a breather. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Why should young people care about the spread of coronavirus? Well, we know that people with underlying medical conditions over the age of 60 are at highest risk, but they've got to get it from somebody.
So we're asking everyone to be selfless for others so that we can protect those who are most susceptible.
Not going to bars, not going to restaurants. It all just means physical separation so that you have a space between you and others.
For more information on how you can social distance, please go to coronavirus.gov.
It's too bad that's become political.
What's happening? Okay, and we're back. And folks, I've said this repeatedly, and I'll keep saying it till we're done with it. We're doing the right thing. We're wearing our masks. We're doing social distancing. Where we can see on the news, in the newspapers, those that don't choose to, that's their choice. But look at the result. There's been some horrible events in other places, and I'm not going to belabor that, but this mask will travel, and I have like 3 or 4 different styles. So do yourself a favor, and everybody around you and those that you love, wear your mask. Okay, enough on that. Every once in a while, I see something that catches my eye, and today's topic caught my eye. I think I saw it on Facebook. I'm not sure. Well, anyways, when I realized who was involved, I said, oh, we got to do this. And so I want to welcome to the show someone I've known for quite a long time, Audrey Dowling, artist, ceramist, a potter. You got a lot of different titles. Educator, really cool person.
I try.
You try. So welcome to Chautauqua Sunrise.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So before we get into what we're going to talk about as far as the projects that you're involved with, Audrey, I know some things about you, and but maybe our viewers and listeners don't. So what's the elevator talk about Audrey Dowling? Who are you? Where'd you come from?
All right. Well, I actually was born and raised in Chautauqua County.
Mm-hmm.
I was, until 2nd grade, we lived on 52 acres of woods with 3 creeks, which is still in the family, just outside of Bemis Point. That has been really important to me because it's a big part of my work.
Mm-hmm.
And so and then we moved to Jamestown. So, all right, we moved to a little bigger place. And then when I was in high school, my dad took a job. He worked for the state. He took a job in New York City.
Oh.
He was a superintendent of buildings and grounds for Brooklyn State Hospital. So we moved to Brooklyn.
That's
So New York City.
Little culture shock.
But I'm always up for everything. So it was fun. I liked it. The only problem was it was the years of the teacher strike.
Oh.
1968, I believe it was.
Right.
And so I was supposed to go to high school there, and I went to every day of high school in the first 10 weeks, and that was 3 days of high school. And so my dad had arranged, without my knowledge, to have me go back to Jamestown and stay with a friend and finish out high school. And then my senior year, I stayed with my sister, but that's another story. At any rate, so I had quite an interesting upbringing, and because when I went down to New York with my parents, I was too young to work. I would ride the subway every day and walk around a different section of New York, and then as long as I was home by the time they got done with work, they were cool with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how many people know New York City, but in the late 1960s, it was kind of a wild place.
Yeah, I was thinking Greenwich Village.
Oh yeah, I went there. That wasn't the wildest. Times Square was like real seamy right then.
Yeah.
So at any rate, I got a lot of interesting experiences in all the art museums. I got real independent real fast. I was always independent, but I was real independent real fast. And and I liked it. So I went down summers and school vacations. And then when I went to college, I chose the Hudson River SUNY New Paltz for art. And at that time, there were two places you could go for art. In the SUNY system, I had a state scholarship, so I had to go New York State. And they were Buffalo or New Paltz. And I chose New Paltz because of the proximity to the city, but also I wanted to get out of Western New York. Because I figured I had all the Western New York influence I cared to have at that point in my life. So that's where I went to college. And then I taught for 5 years in the Hudson Valley. And we decided to have children, and my whole family was back here.
Wait a minute, you missed a step.
Yeah, what step did I miss?
Where before you decided to have children.
I taught for 5 years.
Okay.
Oh, I got married.
I said, wait a minute.
That's one of my best stories of all. So where did I meet the person I got married to? Yeah, you know my husband.
He's been on the show.
I know. He's
Triple
a
D.
sweet guy, very sweet guy. Well, part of his sweet personality was he liked to help people. So my college roommate and I were up for an adventure one weekend. It was pouring rain. I mean, pouring rain. But we were up for an adventure, and we wanted to do it anyhow, so we decided to go ahead. And we were hitchhiking, and Donald picked us up.
Oh, my gosh.
And so that's how I started. That's how I met Donald to begin with. And yeah, he's always been a really nice guy.
Oh, absolutely. I've known Donald for many, many years as well.
So that's a long part of the story, because we've actually been married this year 48 years.
Holy moly.
In April. It'll be
Wonderful.
48 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so anyways, I came back out here, started a family, took 5 years off raising kids, and then knew that I would probably be going back into teaching and not wanting to lose my first 5 years that I did, because you couldn't buy the time back then.
Right.
I actually thought, oh, it's getting near time. And someone came into the gallery and said, we have a 1-year art fill-in that went from January to January. She was involved with another school district. She said, why don't you apply? And the timing was perfect. So I applied. And then I was always interested in gifted education. I just always have been interested. In fact, if I had stayed at the school in the Hudson Valley, I was going to run their gifted program. So they said to me, BOCES is looking for a person in gifted ed after that 1 year was up. So you know the rest of that story.
That's right.
So I worked with gifted ed and was very active on the state level with them. Was president of New York State Gifted Ed Association.
And you had an awesome administrator.
I did. Sitting right here next to me.
Right in the flesh.
And who encouraged me to pursue what I wanted to pursue.
Yeah.
And so that was a very good career too. But all during that time, we also ran Portage Hill Art Gallery, which we still run. So
how many years have you been doing that?
38.
Wow.
So right now, we've always focused, our mission has always been to have a place where regional artists could show their work and consistently. It's not just like you have a show and then you're not in the gallery anymore. I have some artists that I have actually shown and represented for over 30 years.
Oh, that's great.
And some that are new ones. And, I just sort of feel what's happening out there and pursue or have people come and talk to me about having their work with me that fits in with what I do.
Before we had the show begin, the question popped up, and now you can answer it because I have a note on that, is people hear gallery, and a lot of times there's an admission fee. So we're not talking that kind of situation, right?
No. There's different types of galleries. There are public-funded galleries and there are private-funded galleries. We are a private-funded gallery. And what that means is we've always lived on our own wits. We don't get public funding. And the way that we get our funding is by selling art. But there is no admission ever, no admission fee ever. And we hope that people love to support regional artists, that they will come and purchase something from them, but they can also come and enjoy looking at them as well.
And I've done that, and I've purchased stuff, and you framed some. Actually, Donald did frame some work for us, and so on.
Donald no longer frames, so I should mention.
Right.
He retired from framing.
All good things come to an end.
They do.
But I'm a little curious. You said you were in high school. You visited New York City museums and so forth. Is that where your inspiration for art came from, or where's that little seed come from?
I was raised by really bright, really creative parents, and we were allowed to explore freely the environment, go out in the barn and cobble things together. My dad always had tools. We were allowed. I drilled endless holes. I mean, just drilled holes with this big drill that he had. It just was fun for me. I like cranking that thing. My dad was an engineer, so we spent a lot of hands-on time fixing things, and we were just allowed to really explore freely. And that's the way artists work. So I was sort of inclined in that direction, anyways. My mom wrote poetry, and she really encouraged me to, if I was interested in an art field, that I should go ahead and pursue it. A lot of parents didn't back in those days, but my parents did.
Well, that's great. I was laughing to myself here. You were saying about drilling holes and using your dad's tools. Well, there's a little something you all don't know about me. My job was to hold the flashlight. Whenever there was a project in the house, I wasn't allowed near tools. I don't know why. Then I eventually got the title The Butcher. So I couldn't cut a straight line. I don't know what the problem was. Well, now I do my own work, and we all laugh about it now. But yeah, my dad say, "Get your brother. I need him." I go, "Well, I'm here. I'm available. I'm the firstborn. I should have some rights here." So, anyways, my brother was the mechanical one. I had to learn it later. Anyways, all right. So you explored things. You explored media and so forth. So, what kind of art do you do?
All right. Well, at the moment, I will look at my website in a minute, so we'll see some actual pieces.
Okay, it's queued up. We're ready.
Oh, you ready?
I mean, when you're ready.
Oh, when I'm ready.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first, I want to talk a little bit about the project that you were talking about.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. So, I wrote a grant for doing a project for the Patterson Library out of clay.
Over in Westfield.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I contacted Nancy Nixon Ensign, who is a curator there, to use that word you just mentioned.
Yes.
And a great supporter of regional art.
Well, she's been here.
Yeah,
the art trail and so
she's
forth.
really good. Mm-hmm. And asked if that was something that they might be interested in supporting and having at the library. And she is always a very enthusiastic person, and she definitely encouraged me to do so.
Now, let me interrupt for a second. You said a project in clay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about clay.
All right.
We haven't even talked about clay here.
I know. I've worked in clay for, 45 years.
Uh-huh.
And I'm also a painter. I'm also a mixed media person. But I always liked clay. When I was a little kid, you asked, how did you get into things? Yeah. And one of those creeks that ran through the property, there was a pretty good clay bank. So I would go out and dig clay and make things with it. And
really?
Yeah, it would just air dry.
Okay.
I didn't have kilns or anything. And I just always have liked it.
Okay.
It's very pliable, I like that aspect of it. And there's no mitered corners. That appeals to me too.
Everything's round.
Yeah, well, smooth,
or pinch it or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, it's not. Well, some people, actually, some clay artists have very engineered look to their work. But that's not who I am.
Right.
I'm much more spontaneous, and so at any rate, I did talk to Nancy about doing this piece, which is hand built. I also throw pots, but it's.
Wait a minute now. I know what that term means, but people are going to say, "What are you throwing things at your husband? What do you mean throw a pot?"
Unfortunately, in 48 years, I've never got mad enough to ever throw anything at my husband.
So what do you mean by throw a pot?
On the potter's wheel.
All right, so we're talking like, was it Ghost, the movie?
Oh, yeah. Don't you love it? It's just like, I have to laugh so much at the way they portray artists. And first, I mean, if there's an artist where there's an artist model, there's always an affair going on between them. Believe me, that does not happen. I've drawn a million models in my life, And no.
Okay.
No, you don't interact and you don't have
All right,
affairs.
so when you're throwing a pot, then you're on a wheel and you're shaping the clay on the wheel, right? Okay.
Right, you're pulling it up and shaping it.
See, I told you it's
whatever
going to be a
want
fun show.
I know. And the thing about that I like to do sometimes when I'm throwing, sometimes I throw standard type looking stuff, but I also like to play with it some, because what people don't tend to realize is before the clay has dried and hardened, it's very fluid. Particularly on the wheel it is. So sometimes I like to distort it. And
Well, I bought a piece from you. It's a vase for my sister-in-law for it was birthday one year, and it was sort of a fluid kind of a piece, and you put your flowers in there, but there was like little ragged edges and some pinholes and stuff. It was really cool.
thanks. Well, and sometimes I like to capture that because it's that fluidity that I love. That it's very moldable, and that's what I love about it.
Great.
So back to birds in the
All
fire.
right, all right. Well, I had to get the clay in there. All right, so you work with clay,
Yep.
but you're not going to be throwing any birds or anything. What are you
No,
doing? All right.
no. So right now I'm about halfway through the project. It is 4 feet by 3 feet. That's a pretty big project with clay.
And the title of this project, it has a title, right?
Yeah, it's called Birds in the Foyer because it's going to be placed in the foyer of the library. So when you first walk in, you look to the left and it will be right there.
Well, you know, one of the hallmarks of Patterson Library is all those little stuffed birds.
I was going to say
It's
that's
beautiful.
part
Oh,
of the
gonna put-
whole thing is what I wanted to do was help sensitize people to the idea that they have a fabulous bird collection there that has been renovated in the last couple of years. And it's really, and they have a lot of birds in there that are extinct. I'm not using any of the extinct ones because I wanted to use local birds because I have a thing about wanting kids to get really interested in birds.
Connect it all.
Yeah, and adults too, but
I'm a bird watcher. I
Yeah.
keep track of our birds every year.
do you know the average profile of a bird watcher? And this is, I've been a bird watcher since high school too, so I don't really fit this profile, but the average profile of a bird watcher is extremely well-educated male. That's the average.
We have 26 varieties of birds. The first, the grosbeak comes on May 4th. Anything else you want to know? I'm waiting for my indigo bunting this year. I've seen everybody else, but the indigo. We got a phone call. You want to take a phone call?
Oh, sure.
All right. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Doc. Good morning, Audrey. This is Linda Spalding. Audrey, I would like to ask you, was that survey about bird watchers prepared by a male?
Was,
Hey,
That sounds awfully bigoted to me.
it probably was. I think you got that one right.
Oh, that hurt, Lynn.
Audrey, I'm so happy to see you on the show. And
Thank
I
you.
know your location is a beautiful spot. You're right near the gorge, aren't you?
Yeah, we can't actually get down to the gorge on our property, but unless you wanted 2 broken arms, 2 broken legs, which I don't particularly want. But yeah, we are not far, and we've got birds galore there because of
Oh,
it.
you have eagles there, too.
We do.
We do.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with the fact that I'm a highly educated male. They live there.
I suppose the male eagles are highly educated, and they get their binoculars out every morning, right?
Yeah, probably. Actually, little known fact about local eagles: the first breeding pair in Chautauqua County was in Chautauqua Gorge.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah, oh, that's a
they've
gorgeous
been there for a
place.
while.
Oh, gorgeous place. I wanted to ask you, are they going to be having the Arts and Crafts Festival this summer in Westfield?
I have heard it is canceled,
That's what I've heard as well.
but I can tell you something we are going to be having, which is I'm part of.
Oh.
We're going to be having the art trail, and it's going to be Labor Day weekend. Originally, it's always Memorial Day weekend. Well, we all know what was going on Memorial Day weekend.
Yes.
And we have great hope that Labor Day weekend will work for everybody. I am now open in the gallery. I'm very fussy. Nobody has walked in without a mask. And the one time someone thought early on, before everybody had adopted masks, that their husband or somebody didn't have one, he waited outside and I said, wait a minute, I do have some. So I gave him one of the medical masks that I
Oh, well,
had.
thank you. Thank you very much, because it's very upsetting for me to see people without masks. I just can't imagine anybody not going out without one under these circumstances.
Yep. Well, the gallery's in part of my home too, so I'm really fussy about it. Mm-hmm. And we also have hand sanitizer. We have a little area of hand sanitizers. People can choose their favorite to use. So we've been I think it's quite healthy to come walking. Yes. And if I didn't think so, I wouldn't be open because, like I said, it's in part of my house. But
yes.
I've kept it really stringent, and I feel comfortable that it's a healthy place for people to come and look and check out regional art and see what I'm up to, too, if they want to. Thank you for calling.
Oh, and thank you for being a contributor to our area. We live in such a beautiful area that's such an inspiration for our artists.
Yes, it is, definitely.
Yeah.
It's mellow.
I wanted to mention that getting to my senior employment program, that I am going to be doing safety checks this next week coming up at various host sites so that our workers can get back. And so they're very anxious to get back to work, and I know that the places they are assigned to are also anxious for it. And we do have, we are developing sites for people who are interested, and they should contact me because this is a great time to get going for your job search and involvement. And the number at the Chautauqua County Office for the Aging, and there are other services there besides the employment program. The number is 753, and I'm going to give you 4471. But my number for direct contacts, because we have limited coverage still at the front desk, please call my direct line, 753-4856.
Linda, when you said you're doing safety checks, what do you mean? What are you doing?
Well, before anyone goes back to their site, their host site, like say, like the adult daycare programs or, any place, meals and any place at all where they're going to, I have to go in and make sure we have a checklist to verify that everything is in compliance with the new standards.
Gotcha. Okay. The reason why I asked that is because I want people that are listening or part of the program to know that they should feel comfortable in returning to work and that you're doing due diligence there. So great.
Yes, and nobody is required to go back if they're uncomfortable or if they don't want to go back to a certain site. If they feel uncomfortable with that, we can make arrangements. Everything is very flexible, and it's geared to the interests and needs of our senior workers.
Terrific. Okay, Lynn. Well, is it still nice and sunny out? We're in the middle of this building here.
Yeah.
I never know what the weather is. All right. Well, thanks for calling in, and appreciate your comments.
All right. Thank you. Have a great weekend and week.
You too.
Thanks.
Okay. That's
Bye-bye.
Linda Spalding, Office for the Aging. All right. So back to the project. So 3x4 is a mural?
Oh, it's like a clay mural, yeah.
Okay.
And it's low relief. For those who don't know, means it's not, the birds are not three-dimensional, but they're sort of dimensional. They're
so like a coin, right? Where some of it's high and
very
low?
Similar
I carve, so I understand that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And before I go any further on this, there is a line I have to read.
Okay, here we go.
Because
this is the official statement.
Yes, this is grant funded. So, this is quotes. This program was made possible with funds from the Decentralization Program, a re-grant program of the New York State Council on the Arts with the support of Governor Andrew M. Cuomo and the New York State Legislature and administered by the Tri-County Arts Council.
Somehow I felt like we should have music behind that.
Yeah, that would probably be a good thing.
Well, that's good. I know that New York State has been very supportive of the arts in our region over the years. So, well, good. That's great. All right. So, the inspiration for the project was the birds in the gallery, the
Birds
specimen.
in the region.
Birds in the region. And so, for those of us highly educated male adults, what kind of birds are in your relief?
Well, what I did is I put out on Facebook that I had got this grant and I wanted some community input. So send me, your favorite bird.
Okay.
And then I encourage people to also ask kids their favorite birds, community kids. And I didn't get too many of those, but those I definitely put in.
Okay.
I got too many birds to fit in the recommended.
All right, so
but-
I think I've been seeing, they're like little squares?
Yeah, they're not square shaped though. They're all different shapes.
Okay, and so there's a bird in relief. Now, will this be in color, or how's that?
Yeah,
gonna
they'll be glazed in different colors.
Oh, cool.
There's probably, I mean, I haven't really counted them, but I'm guessing there's probably 12 birds in there.
Now, are you going to produce these again for sale?
No.
No grosbeaks or cardinals for people to buy
Oh,
for
I
Christmas?
buy, actually, I do have, I paint them on mugs and vases and stuff. I've
Oh.
done that for a long, long time.
Different media. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
No, well, on clay.
Well, clay. All right. Different form then.
Right.
All right. So, I have this image. Do we have any pictures of these anywhere on your website?
No,
Not yet?
if you want to see this in process, as you mentioned, you've been following
I
my
have.
progress. Yeah. Because part of the grant thing is to also let people know about the art process. I was going to, at the art trail, I was going to have it laid out so where I could talk to people. Now I do talk to people if I don't have someone else in the gallery at the time and they're interested, I will take them out and see what I'm working on.
Terrific.
It's about half done at this point. No color on it yet.
Okay.
But it will be in full color, and then I'm also making some tiles from something I found from the same era that the library was built in.
Oh.
So I'll be making some Victorian-looking tiles to go around the outside edge.
Very nice.
I haven't done those yet.
So
but-
will this all be like in a frame when it's all done?
Yeah, it's going to have first there's the birds in the center. It's going to have the Victorian tiles around the outside, and then the edge is going to be very simple, just a simple wooden frame. And because as I said earlier, you could say to me, you're either going to have to make a mitered corner or go to jail, and I would say, lock me up.
Lock me up.
Because I cannot make a mitered corner. So I am actually having a woodworker friend who is great at mitered corners.
We all have our strengths and weaknesses.
I know. Make the edging for me and the support structure that you have to have for a tile.
Because
piece.
we have certain inquiring minds, can you tell us maybe a couple of those types of birds you're going to have in there?
Yep, I can do that. And one of my favorite wacky birds, so I made sure I put them in there, was a kingfisher.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, I mean, they look wild. Their
Yeah,
hair is
they're
all
and
crazy.
very stubby beak, and they're kind of squatty.
Yeah, no, they have a long beak.
Oh, that's right, the long
Relatively,
beak,
yeah.
but a chunky body, right?
Yeah, and they have this wacky call, and they dive down head first into the water to get fish.
I can only see those when I'm nearby the lake.
Yeah.
Water. Where I live, there aren't any kingfishers.
Right, and so that's one of them. There's an eagle in there. There's robins in there. There's a barn owl in there.
Good.
One of the local children wanted, but my grandson is like nuts about owls. So if I do any bird piece like that, I would have to put an owl in
A
for
blue
sure.
heron, by any chance?
There's a heron in
There's
there.
gotta be a blue heron.
Yep.
Okay, nice.
And there's a section that is like gorge. There's a section that has some grapes on it. There's a
Nice.
section that's going to have a little bit of the lake. And then there's farm fields in it.
So how many
and a
birds
wood
altogether
section.
are you planning?
How many birds? I think there's about a dozen.
Okay, very nice.
And so all different types.
So when can we see all this?
All right, so
We want to see the birds. It's like an
you
Alfred
wanna
Hitchcock
see 'em.
movie here.
I know, the birds, if you want to see it in progress, then stop by the gallery sometime. Again, if I'm busy, I can't take out, but if I'm not busy, then I'll take out. Or we're going to hopefully unveil it in October in the library in its finished state. We're hoping to have some sort of event, but it's
Yep.
kind of hard to predict right now.
Well, please let us know, and we'll share that with everyone.
All right, I will do that when that's up.
Okay.
Now would probably be a good time to look at the website so you can see
Okay.
some of my
So
other work.
Let me just do this before we do. Folks, you're watching Chautauqua Sunrise, and you can catch us on channel 1301 throughout the week on on Spectrum, 2 and 8. And my guest today is Audrey Dowling, an artist who's been doing a project called Birds in the Foyer at the Patterson Library. And now we're going to go to your website and see some cool stuff, because we took a little peek while I was.
Oh, you did?
getting ready earlier. So let's go to Audrey. So what is your web page? How to
Okay,
get there?
I actually have two of them. The one that's specifically just my work is www.audreykdowling.com.
Is that K-A-Y or K-K? The letter K?
K-A-Y, that's my maiden name actually.
Audrey K.
Dowling.
Dowling, all one word, all one stretch?
Yep.
Yeah.
.com.
.com. Okay. So
And
let's.
then the other one that also has a lot of my work on it, tells about the gallery, gives the gallery hours, etc., is www.portagehillgallery.com.
Okay, great. All right, so Jeff or Chris, if we can go to the webpage and there it is. Just like you said, Audrey K. Dowling, fine art. So you've got mixed media, ceramics, and abstracts. So where should we start?
Let's start with mixed media.
All right. So what do we mean by mixed media?
Mixed media means that it's pieces that are created by more than one media.
So you could mix paint and maybe, I don't know. What do you mix?
What I have, they click on the links?
Go ahead and click
Okay.
on that. Let's have a look, see. They're
He's working on
Oh,
it.
there it
Okay.
goes. I see the cursor.
I see the cursor.
There we go. Okay. There we go. There you go.
Okay, so these are mixed media pieces. These ones actually have a block print in the center,
Okay.
which some are linoleum, some are wood. As you can see, some are printed on regular paper, some are printed on newspaper, some are printed on all kinds of things.
Oh, wow.
The third one there along the Joy of Winter has 3 blocks printed. That one, I painted the paper first, and then I block printed, went back in and painted some of the block print, added birds, added texture with some paper in the bottom. A lot of steps to that piece.
So when you say block print, you're talking about a piece of something that you've carved into, and then
Yeah.
you add ink or paint, and then you press it against the paper? It's like a
That's
stamp
correct.
type
That's
thing?
correct. I
I
roll it.
sound very knowledgeable, don't I?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
hand
right.
rub it.
Okay.
So if you look in the center of each one of those pieces, you will see something that is the block print itself.
I
So
see it, yeah.
some of it's like that one is done on newsprint. That one is, I put 3 in a row. I see he's got the cursor
You do a lot
going.
with birds, I noticed.
Yeah, I do a lot of birds. I love birds.
Okay.
Actually, when I was born, my father when he went to see me for the very first time, a whole flock of bluebirds flew up in front of the car.
Oh, my gosh.
And so although my father is not Native American, he says that's your totem.
All right.
So here's some more examples of my work. I don't always use birds, but I do use a lot of birds.
A lot of nature.
Yeah, lots of nature. As I mentioned earlier, I was raised on 52 acres of woods. There's a couple of gorge pieces in there.
Now, I'm looking at some of the sizes. They look like about maybe a couple feet by a couple of feet, some a little bit smaller.
Yeah, they're pretty good size.
Now, do they come framed, or how does that
Yeah,
work?
these ones do. Yep.
And these are in your gallery?
Yeah, some of them have been sold, but
Okay.
the other thing that I have done is these are originals, those are prices of originals. I also have some giclée prints of them, which are much less expensive. And then I do ceramics as well.
Okay, let's go there.
I should say on the mixed media, I actually have had 2 articles written about my work this year. One was in the UK magazine, which my parents being British, I'm sure they would have liked that. And another is an American, it was an international competition, but
Super.
it's out of America.
So you're pretty famous.
Getting there.
Okay.
Okay, ceramics. There it gives you an idea. On the left there, that heron tile built in, that's actually in our bathroom, but that gives you an idea, the sense of what the project I'm working on is going to be
Can you
on.
click on that one, Jeff? Yeah, let's just see if we can bring it up closer. There we go.
Okay, so you can see the bird is a little 3-dimensional.
Yeah, it has some depth to it. I
Yeah.
can see that even with the light play on there.
Yeah, and so that gives you a sort of a feeling for what I'm going. It's a little more elaborate, a little smaller tiles, but that's sort of the feel of what I'm doing with this Birds in the Foyer project.
Okay. Thanks, Jeff. Now, if I'm not mistaken, tile is an old art form. I mean, that they've used it for a bazillion years.
Yep.
So what else we have here? So I see something that looks like a 3-dimensional called garden float.
Yeah,
what's
that's
that
a
one?
large piece. It looks fairly small, but it's actually a large piece, 17 inches high. And it's for flowers. I mean, it holds water. You could use it
Now,
for flowers.
without being silly here, I mean, is that something you throw?
No, that's hand built. That's hand built.
So you start with, excuse me, slabs of clay and put them together? That type
Yep.
of thing? Losing my voice here. Ooh, what's that?
And that was a large commission piece I did for the UU Church on the grounds of Chautauqua. It has the I don't know, most people are probably not UUs, but it reflects a lot of the UU 7 principles in it, which are very earth-based. That aspect of it, the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part, which is really important to me. It's connected to that, and it also has the donors on the top pieces there for who helped pay for the UU house on the grounds of
Okay,
Chautauqua.
so before we leave that, can we go back to that picture, Jeff? Because we have people listening right now that can't see this. So kind of describe that if you would.
Oh, okay. It's actually 6 feet 4 inches tall, and it has component parts that include scenes that you might see on the grounds of Chautauqua. The lake is in the bottom. The next one up is woods and Trillium. Then I put a fish in there. I put the earth. There's 4 donor areas, and then I had a flying bird at the top, and then at the very top I have a celestial thing and the flaming torch at the top, which is
Wow.
part of the symbol of the UU Church is a flame.
So it's sort of like a totem.
It is a totem.
Oh,
Well, except that we call it a celebratory pole
a celebratory pole. I'm glad I don't have to read that every week.
or a ceremonial pole.
Okay.
Because totem has some
A
implications.
different, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So let's scroll down a little bit more. Let's see what else. If you see something you want to talk about.
All right. Well, if you go back up a little bit there, and one more up.
Keep going up. Yep.
These are some abstract pieces that I have made during the time of COVID.
Oh, let's click on one of those. Your choice. There we go. All right.
That's a large piece too. And it doesn't necessarily read as large there, but it is. And I found myself doing a lot more abstraction during this time period. Artists have been, influenced pretty heavily of the whole thing that's happening. The other thing I've been doing abstractions, and I've also sort of featured more people in my work. So I actually brought a piece that I did that sort of combines both. I have a cousin who's a nurse, and she wrote this whole thing of how exhausted she's been.
Oh my gosh, that sure captures
feeling.
it.
And so I was thinking about her one night, and when I woke up, I just did this piece trying to capture exhaustion of these healthcare workers and all the people that are essential workers that have been working so hard. So this is sort of a crossover between people and abstraction.
For those that are listening right now, this is a picture of a woman, and it's lots of purples and blues, but she has a mask on, and it's the face that tells it all. I mean, you can just see the weariness in her face, can't you? And she's just like ready to collapse. That's the expression I get from it all. And you said she's a nurse or no?
Yeah, she's a nurse, but this piece sort of represents everybody who's working real hard.
Exhaustion.
Everybody's exhausted. They're
Audrey,
all
we've
exhausted.
only got about a minute left. So
Oh my gosh.
Whatever you want to cover right now.
Okay. Yeah. Talking has never been difficult for me.
Where's your gallery? Let's.
Okay, the gallery is actually located exactly halfway between Westfield and Mayville on Route 394. As a matter of fact, it is exactly halfway.
Okay.
And as you're heading down 394 from Mayville, it's on the left-hand side. And like I said, we've been there 38 years. We feature originals. Everything hanging in the gallery are originals. We feature regional art, so it's my work, a lot of my work, but it's also many other regional artists' work. And I enjoy being able to bring regional work to people.
If someone wants to contact you, you have a phone number that we can use?
716-326-4478.
4478. We're out of time, believe it or not.
Okay.
we did
Thanks,
it.
John.
Birds in the Foyer coming into Patterson Library in October, right?
Correct.
All right, I can't wait to see this. I've been seeing little bits and pieces that you've been posting on Facebook. If they want to see Facebook, just go to Audrey Dowling. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll find it.
And it's going to be great. Audrey, thanks for sharing your background, your experiences, your artwork, and even that painting you did for COVID. That was, right now I'm still kind of like reeling from that a little bit. That was really powerful. So
Thank you.
keep up the great work, and I'll be by. So folks, I hope you enjoyed the show today. Check out her work. Check out the Patterson Library here soon. We're going to do this all again right here, channel 1301 at Spectrum at Access Chautauqua. And we'll see you next week at 9 a.m. Have a great weekend. Stay cool and wear those masks. Bye now.